back, round 2.
Long time no see.
Yeah, right? Haven't seen you guys in forever. How are you guys doing? No, I'm just kidding. So obviously, we're both doing fine on this magical I was about to say Tuesday. On
It's
this
definitely Sunday.
But so obviously we were gonna have Rick. Oh, I say his last name. Recon. We were gonna have him on, but because of uncontrollable I cannot speak.
Circumstances.
You guys get the gif. You know, he was supposed to come on, but something came up, so we will be booking him again, hopefully sometime in January. But we're not gonna leave you guys high and dry. We're not gonna be like, oh, well, too bad. ABJ's in the chat saying, what's
I
that?
mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's probably me. I did cardio right before this podcast, so I'm a little sweaty.
Anyways, so we're not gonna leave you high and dry. We're gonna be talking about some upcoming shows. Probably doing like a little prediction show, I guess you could say, for UCW. Talking about last night's show, AXW, which it was such a blast. And talking about some stars that we would like to personally get on our podcast. So we can start it easy peasy, and we can start it like, Sabrina, who would you like? What is one main person that you would love to have on the podcast? And ABJ, I'll send you it.
We'll send you a link on our podcast. Honestly, from last night, I would love to get David Goldie, which I did talk to, and he is going to look at the dates for the podcast. So I sent him the one for February. So we will get in touch with him. But that's so exciting because like you knew me last night. I was like, we gotta get this guy on. We gotta get this guy on.
I don't know him, but I don't like him.
We both don't really know him. We really just saw him last night. But since he is kind of getting up there, he was on AEW Dark. So that's the kind of thing like why we want to get him on.
Yeah.
Because he's a growing star, just like, Andretti was, that little boy.
That little boy.
But yeah. How about you, Harley? What do you want to see?
I don't know, because we got like my top faves. I got Rembrandt. We had Adina on. Cosmic, y'all hear it first. Cosmic is actually booked for what, next week? Like not this week, but next week. So I'm super excited to get her. Those are like my main 3.
We got a lot of ours like booked right away.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good talent that I still want to get, like Riley Crow, Philly Mike. There's just so many names but it's so hard to like figure out your schedule and their schedule, and like if stuff happens, like something comes up, then they're not going to be able to join.
Right. Granted, we're going to be with UCW, and we're going to be, we're going to be going to wrestling events this year, so we'll find definitely people to come in. Oh no. Okay, guys, we have a guest.
Here, let's give him a warm welcome. We have ABJ!
What's going on, everybody?
Okay, so he's here.
I'm going to show my door. That's not very nice.
Yeah, that's not nice.
Okay, Sabrina's on a very not nice level today.
Oh, what happened? Why are you being moody Judy?
We don't need to talk about it.
I mean, I'm sure you probably heard. I'm just kidding.
Real quick, what did you think of AXW?
Oh, I personally, I loved it. Keikoa, man, I've been waiting 2 long, hard years to see him again, and last night I was like, yeah,
it was cool. It's always a good time seeing Keikoa. I went over to go talk to him, and he was getting his back cracked and aligned and massaged by the guy in the corner, and I just kneeled down. I gave him a little bump, and I was like, "What's up, man?" He goes, "Who are you?" I go, "It's Blackwell." And he goes, "What's up, man?" And I just kind of talked to him for a little bit, but I said, "Man," and then after his match, I went up. I said, "Yo, welcome home, man." Because it's nice to have that homecoming, but also, man, that might have been my favorite Leo Sparrow match. Him and Keikoa. Yeah, I thought Leo put a really good performance on, and I think he showed a lot of what he can do in the ring with someone bigger than him.
Slut.
Yeah, it looked real believable. It looked like they both put together a really good match, and I think Leo might leave there a pretty big star.
Yeah, I think that he deserves a good cheeseburger.
He's my little
That was my chant. That was me. We like burgers. That was me.
Oh my god, it was such a great night.
He came back out and he goes, "Did you hear they were chanting 'We like burgers'?" And he goes, "No." He goes, "Dude, I was looking around. I'm like, are they chanting burgers at me?" And I look across and it's you scumbag." He goes,
oh my god, it was a good night. You know,
it was really nice.
We had Leo,
Laszlo.
We had Sabrina's new favorite.
I'm an Ed House guy. I'm a big Ed House guy. Laszlo's partner.
Yeah,
he's very really entertaining. Cool. A lot of new faces. Like there's a lot of those faces. Like half the show that was all people that you don't really see in the PA scene. And I thought every one of them delivered and had good matches.
Yeah, me and Sabrina, we were like, we don't know who you are, but we still want to cheer for you. So we were like, get him, bald guy, go get him.
Yeah, we were great. I think the only one I knew his name right off the bat was David Goldie. I was like, I know you, right there, buddy. You're on my radar.
Is David Goldie on like a Cole Carter level?
Oh, at least you know.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Golden. He beat my boy, Andy Hatter. So
you know what? I was happy. I was a happy girl.
Yeah, it was weird to go to a show and just be a fan. I haven't experienced that in a while, so it was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we love seeing you as a fan.
Yeah.
Yes. I just sat in the corner and drank beers. That's all I did.
I mean, you had a great night.
We sat in the bleachers and just caused a ruckus. We just caused
a ruckus. Yeah. Well, the only pro tip for myself next time is if I have a vendor table, don't get a spot in the back corner because everyone stands in that area and I couldn't see a lot. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to pack up my stuff. And then I just put everything in the car and then watched the rest of the show. And just stood there and watched it.
Still a great night.
Yeah, it was fun. I had a good time.
I left there and I was like, my voice is going to be so bad tomorrow. And I woke up and my throat hurt. I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I can definitely say it's a different energy from PPW. Mm-hmm. The crowd isn't like as energized, I guess you could say.
Yeah. And it was always good to see Savage and Lady Frost. Deanna Peraza was there. JC Storm. So I was pretty happy. I got to see a lot of cool friends too.
Oh, not JC Storm. I don't like her.
She's a sweetheart.
No, she's not. Yes. She's a lie. No, she has you fooled. She put a spell on you.
Ooh.
You may be right.
That's my job.
I might have got that Cole Carter spell, you know?
Oh, my God.
Well,
oh, man.
I think JC Storm and Johnny Moran are on my level. Like,
oh, that's a terrible comparison.
No.
One of them's a good human, and the other one's Johnny Moran.
That's
no.
Well, I mean, okay. Not. I don't know JC Storm very well, but I know Johnny Moran.
I think you're buying into the character a little too much.
Who, me?
Yeah. No. Which is good. That's she's doing her job.
No, I should have went over to her last night and started beef with her.
You should have went over and just said, "Hey, how you doing? I remember you from PPW," and then she would have been not evil character JC Storm, and she would have been very sweet to you.
No, she's not. You don't know her.
I'm booking JC Storm for this podcast. I'm going to get her on and talk to you.
You can get her for your podcast.
Actually, that was talked about last night as well. She's going to be coming on the ABJ podcast.
You can have her. We don't want her here.
Listen, Harley has a list of people she really wants on here, and one of them is Johnny Moran and JC Storm. You know, she has a lot of people she really, really wants.
And I think that's the same list of people who you want hugs from, right?
Oh God, no. Okay, hold on. Can we just put this out there? Laszlo last night, when he hugged me, I was like, oh God, because he's so tall.
He literally had to like get down to hug her. He was like, "Come here, girl."
You know what the worst is I get too hyped up, like behind the curtain sometimes. Like if I do commentary and it's not my match, so I just go backstage, especially at the PPW. And like you just watched a match and you're emotional, like because I put a lot of my emotion in commentary, so I'm emotional, hyped up for what I just seen because I'm selling and help putting the story over. And then we both meet at the curtain, and they kind of look at me like, "What do you think?" Because it's weird because I've never wrestled, but like they want my take on what they thought because I was the one calling it. And I'm like, "Yo, it was awesome," and we hug, and then I'm like all about the hug because I'm happy for them and they put on a good performance. And as soon as we lock, I immediately regret that hug because they're so sweaty and gross. And when they're taller, it hits you in the face, and you're just like you're like, oh, it's bad. It's bad news. Yeah, that happens sometimes.
No, but yeah, it like Harley said, like the crowd there is very a different dynamic because we were like doing our usual. What is happening?
I moved my lap. I have a new desk, so I'm trying to find my feng shui.
We were like doing our typical PBW stuff of like, police sirening and just going crazy. Yeah. And people in the crowd were looking at us like we were crazy. And I was like, well, we are, but
so for next AXW show, you need to be in either one or two places. Higher on the bleachers, because then it travels and then your energy takes over the room, and then you can stomp on the bleachers and make noise. Which is key. If there's always bleachers, be a stomper. That's even if people don't want to scream, they'll stomp their feet in the bleachers because it's just contagious. You want to get that, what I mean? Everybody wants to do it. Or you got to be floor. You got to get floor seats because the people on the floor, because they paid a little more money, they want a little more of an experience because they're there. So you guys being that energy there is going to really get people around you into it. There was one drunk guy who just kept walking around the ring. He was pretty fun.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was definitely a really good experience. So I'm definitely excited to go back in February and see that show. I'm
a lot of history in that building too. I don't even know how aware you are of the history that has happened wrestling wise in that building. That is a legendary venue. Like, you name wrestlers back in the day, like Andre, Hulk Hogan, Dusty Rhodes, like they all wrestled in that building.
That's crazy.
Did you understand the coconut reference for Leo Sparrow?
No. Yes, Leo explained it to me after the show.
So in that back corner where they were doing photography, that there's a garage door. That used to be they would do segments there, and Ronda Rousey. It's funny that I'm explaining this in newer terms, which old wrestling fans are probably gonna have an aneurysm. But you know how Ronda Rousey does the Roddy Piper look? So there was a wrestler, Roddy Piper. I'm not sure how far you go back and watch Harley, but he was an old wrestler back in the day. He was really fun. So he was also a bad guy, good guy. He floated that he was almost like an MJF, and he was MJF before MJF. So he did an interview with Jimmy Snuka, and because Jimmy Snuka is Samoan and he's from the islands, he hit Jimmy with a coconut in the head, and it was a huge moment in wrestling because it was he attacked Jimmy Snuka, and that happened in that building. In that back corner. So that's why he was wrestling Kakoa because Kakoa is Samoan, and he brought the coconut to kind of and he's a vegan, so fruit. So it's a whole, yeah. It was a good spot. I liked it.
Man, he's a character.
We're definitely going to get Leo on here because we like him too.
Yeah, and he comes from a really cool school. I had him on not too long ago, and he's worked his ass off in this business in such a short time.
Can't complain.
Yeah, right? Oh my gosh.
So actually, let me pull up something. I have two shows that I can kind of plug. You guys, I'm not sure if you guys are aware of it, even or not. So remember, there's a promotion called Backbreakers Wrestling.
I think I've heard of it.
I don't know their new name now.
Well, I love how you and I both go, yeah, what's going on?
So they're doing a Dina Steele and Philly Mike Swanson benefit show to try to raise some money for them because they're injured and they're missing out a lot. It's called High Ground Pro Wrestling. It's going to be Saturday, February 11th. It's going to be a benefit for Dina Steele and Philly Mike at the Falcon's Nest in Mayfield, Pennsylvania. That's a little bit of a drive. It's pretty up there past Wilkes-Barre, Stratton area, but that'll be a thing. So if you want to check out High Ground Pro Wrestling, that's going to be a cool thing to put some stuff over for Dina. A lot of Smash guys are going to be there. I think it's so it's a lot of backbreakers and Smash wrestlers. So that's a good collaboration. And I believe Smash Master is doing an event this Friday at a bar in Wilkes-Barre for Adina.
I thought that was Sunday.
Is it when?
I think it's Sunday.
Oh, here it is here. Sunday, January 15th. Yeah. Good call. So you knew about it. There you go. So there's two shows coming up that are going to be benefiting two pro wrestlers that we both care about a lot who are injured that are they're going to be out quite some time. Adina is probably looking at 5-6 months because once they put a plate in that extends your injury, And Philly Mike's knee is just, he had to get everything replaced. It was destroyed.
Poor man.
And he worked on that like for 4 years. He just thought it hurt. Like he was like, my knees hurt, and just bared through it and just kept wrestling. And then he went and got it looked at, and they're like, bro, your ACL, your MCL, and like the meniscus, which is like your cushion that goes around your knee, was gone. And he still wrestled another month, and then said that this is my last match, and then left.
Yeah.
He's a nut. It's crazy.
Well, at least he has the ambition, you know?
Yeah.
Dude, that's why I said this independent wrestling game, man. People are chasing dreams, you know?
Yeah. But I just gotta say, wrestling, it's a weird thing though. The way time works, the way people think. Not going into detail, I just gotta say, no matter like any circumstances, wrestling's a weird thing.
Yeah, and it's scary because like you have to look at Philly Mike and Adina, and then and it's good that we have our friend group, and our friend group are also people who put shows on as well, like Rosh and Macedon, or however Uncle Massey, whatever you want to call him these days. Because what happens a lot too is you go to these promotions, and it's one of those deals where you're like, well, I'm not available for 8 months, and they go, all right, cool, and they just throw you away, and they find the next person to come in, and then as a wrestler, you're thinking, man, this 8 months I'm gone. They're gonna forget about me. Like I'm gonna have to reestablish everything. Like, if I come back, are they gonna be excited? Like it's a mental issue as well, because you put so much work in to build your reputation and everything like that. It's scary for them. So it's always good too when a wrestler's hurt at any level. Just show them some love on social media every now and then. Hey, thinking about you, great photo. Like, because trust me, those comments do help them a lot, especially when they're mentally going through an injury, because there's more to an injury than just the pain of it, you know?
No, yeah, definitely. I feel so bad for Adina worked so hard. Like both of them worked hard, but Adina, she's been through like so much. Like she goes everywhere. She wrestles everywhere. And can I just say, PPW, do I think I'm sorry, not sorry.
It's our podcast. Don't apologize.
It's fine. Do I think
the actions and words of Harley do not represent ABJ podcast?
Anyways, do I think Miranda should have the title? Not really. She just came back. Like, homie, this girl came and she's like, you know what? I'm gonna take that title out of nowhere, and girl got it. When Adina has been working for it on months and months and months. She had it. She lost it. Can I just say I'm glad that JC Storm never got it? I'm telling you, Johnny Moran and her are on that level.
Wow.
Sorry.
Who hurt you?
Who hurt you?
It is tough. Women's wrestling is so it's said it's tough to book, right? Because women do demand a higher rate because of past experiences that women go through at professional wrestling shows. So a way to circumvent sometimes some of the nonsense they go through, they raise their rates. And a lot of promotions don't want to pay those rates, and a lot of those promotions don't want to book more than one women's match on a show. So it feels like a lot of times in the independent wrestling scene, women kind of get the short end of the stick, you know?
Yeah.
And then when you do book a really good female wrestler, sometimes the person they bring in to help her out, who takes the less booking fee, isn't as talented. So then you have a woman working a girl who's still not sure how to do some things in the ring, and then they have a mediocre subpar match, and then they go, well, this is why we don't like women's wrestling, because they can't do it like everybody else. And it's like, well, that's because you're a bad matchmaker and you put together a match that probably shouldn't have happened.
For sure.
Because people don't research independent talent and put people together who will be good matches. So people think you just get two people and be like, oh, put these people together, because why not? Because they're in the back, and it's like picking a wrestling video game. But to put chemistry in the ring, you have to do your research and find out what makes this person good and what makes this person good and what they can bring together. And then as a booker, go to them and be like, well, this is what I like about you, and this is what I like about you, and here's a story I want to put together. But that doesn't always happen at wrestling shows. They kind of just say, I'm only really worried about this story, and then I'm going to put X, Y, and Z, and then put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in this match, and then put, and then there's no story building. And then at the end of the day, pro wrestling is about the story, and I think that's missed a lot.
Yeah,
I would love more storylines.
I'm not saying it's a promotion or any promotion. I'm just saying in general, it happens with independent wrestling.
Yeah, I don't know, man, because I think the women's roster, like especially like with PPW, because that's like where we go all the time. PPW's female roster is like consists of what, 3 females technically.
It's
Danny
always
Rose,
kind of been that way though. Like at one point in time, they really rode Sammy and Allie, and then they moved on, and then they rode Allie and Christina, and then it went Christina Adina, and then it was Adina Christina, maybe, and then when they put the title on Adina, they didn't really have, and then it went Adina Danny, and then it was Danny nobody.
It was Danny and what's her face, Tasha Steeles, and then Tasha won.
Well, I mean, it was Danny, but I'm saying like as a strong counterpart, Tasha was not there consistently. She was only there 1 or 2 shows. JC Storm was in and out in a quick minute. They had Cosmic there, but they used her more as a valet than a wrestler because she was still in those early stages. Like that would be a name I would be bringing. Like, hey, let's bring her back, because I don't know if you've seen Cosmic's work lately that she's been putting out. She went to a new school. She's being trained by Masha Slamovich, who is arguably one of the best females in the game right now, who's signed by Impact, but just doing really good things. And Cosmic has been excelling under that new system, and that would be a name I would bring back in because I think her level of wrestling now has gotten tremendously better. But yeah, and then now we have the new champion, so we kind of see how that plays out,
Yeah. I think Cosmic, on the topic of Cosmic, she has a lot of potential, and it's
her stuff now is unbelievable. Her German suplexes look tight, her strikes look good, her character work is good. She's on point right now. Cosmic's going to be I'm bummed she lives so far out in New York, because it's like a lot of those New York wrestlers out here, we need cars. Like cars are a big deal because everything's 20-30 minutes away and you got to drive to it, and we don't have public transportation. People who live in New York, they don't buy cars because they just jump on a train or a subway, or they take an Uber, and they get where they need to go, and then they get booked in PA. And if they're not getting booked with 3 or 4 people that they can ride with, it's not feasible for them. Because like I know just for Rem experience and Rem and Cosmic, they're paying someone to drive them to PPW, and the drive just in gas is $20, $30, $40, and then they have to pay tolls. And tolls are $10 a pop, depending on what state line you go through. So if you're going from New York to Pennsylvania, that's like 20. So it could be $20-some in tolls. And then if your wrestling is only getting paid a certain thing, you're essentially you're working for free and you're putting it back into your travel.
That's so crazy.
It's tough. It's tough to manage.
But
there are those small things that people don't realize when they just sit in the stands and scream for their favorite wrestler to be there.
Right.
For me? No, I'm just kidding.
We don't scream. We don't even root for people.
Yeah,
that wasn't just you guys. I'm just saying in general. I think a lot of the fans don't put that into consideration when it comes to like that's just one small element of what it takes to make a wrestling show happen.
Definitely. Like I could give Keikoa props too. He flies in, he flies right out. He doesn't hesitate. He's like, I'm here to get the job done, and
he's also dad of the year, by the way. Like his little girl's obsessed with him. So for him to leave and go wrestle, especially now to come back to PA, we should show him that love, because that's the ultimate of going away from your family for a couple of days and getting on a plane and going across the country to wrestle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. On the topic of that, they are so freaking adorable. I got Keikoa a gift, obviously, because I haven't seen him in forever, and I'm a gift giver. So I got them both. I got
no, you're not.
No, of course not. I got Kaylee like a little like Valentine's Day dress, and it was so freaking adorable. I should have took pictures, but I didn't. And I got the baby it like a heart, and it has like little Valentine's Day stuff on it, and it was so cute.
I hope for Sammy, the new baby, is obsessed with her. So because I don't know if she could take another one.
Yeah,
right. So your title here, upcoming shows. I'm sorry, I'm like hijacking you guys here, but upcoming shows. Who are some people that are booked that we can talk about?
As in what show? UCW?
What's that? No, I'm saying for you guys.
Well, for us.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Harley.
I guess I'll take the fan. This coming week we have none other than Joe Davis.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a bad booking. That's a bad booking right there. Dude, I love him. I love him and Ruda, but first month in as owners, and they dropped the ball. They don't even put a show together.
Yeah, how about
Jesus.
that?
Damn, Ruda, come on, get your life together.
Can I don't know if this is a story I'm allowed to tell. I'm going to tell it anyway because Ruda. All right, so behind the closed doors, Ruda's a really, 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 really nice guy. He's a sweetheart.
Mhm.
I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but Ruda gave away Ruda sells titles. That's another like a side hobby that he makes money with. He goes and gets these really, really nice WWF replica titles, and he had the Macho Man title, the Intercontinental title. I actually didn't know the story behind this. Ruda educated me. So the old IC title was gold, but when Macho Man won it, he put stuff on it to like shine it up, and it stripped all the sheen off it and made it the copper stand out. So it's like silverish, and it was messed up. And they just used it like that for years. So that's like a messed up title that is used as a replica because people want it because it was a mess up. He had one, which is like it's not an easy title to find. And he gave it to little Gavin as a gift last night. Just like, probably could have sold that for $300, $400, and he just like, here, buddy, you support us so much. Here's a cool title. And I was like, dude, like Ruda is the man. I love that guy.
Warms my heart.
It makes us love Ruda even more.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart.
Man, Gavin though,
he's really sweet.
I love both of them. Gavin, he has my
I
heart.
just hope Gavin doesn't grow up and then like hit middle school and he starts like liking girls, and then he's just like, wrestling's stupid. I'm not going to this anymore. Like that would devastate all of us because we all love seeing him there. Like he just grows out of wrestling. He's just like, I'm over it. I play sports now. That's kind of it's way cooler than spending my weekends watching dudes in their underwear.
Oh my god.
But as for upcoming, yeah, we have Joe Davis, we have Tommy Beggs, maybe featuring Mary.
Ooh, that's a good interview.
I'm excited for that one because
they're gonna challenge you. You better be on your A game because they could be difficult. They could be difficult there, especially their heels. So you better not stumble because they'll put you through it.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a challenging interview. I'm excited to watch that one.
I don't think I've ever actually like fully talked to them. Like other than me booing them, I don't think I've ever talked to them.
As characters, they're hands down one of my favorite people to watch as characters. They're just so wildly entertaining. But also as people, they're just really, really, really sweet people. And Tommy is as funny as he is as a character, as a human being. He's someone that when you're around at any point in time, you will be crying and belly laughing because he's an idiot. He's so funny.
It makes me even more excited.
Yeah, you're gonna have a good time with that one. Also, write this down in your notes. Tommy Vex is a huge Sheets guy.
Ugh.
Yeah, loves Sheets. Not a big Wawa guy. Loves Sheets, and he's also a giant Mets fan. So make sure you ask those two questions. Like, what about the Mets is your favorite thing? Like, you know what I mean? Write those down.
Yeah, Harley, write those down. You got this.
If I can find my pen.
And Mary Beth, for some reason, she hates My Chemical Romance. I don't know what her hate is for that band, but hates them.
Well, I'm gonna press all their buttons.
Full disclosure, it's the complete opposite. They love all those. They hate. So Tommy's a huge Phillies fan and loves Wawa and hates Sheets. And Mary Beth loves My Chemical Romance. So just ask those questions that I told you to ask. Just like throwing some zingers. And then after you ask them, be like, that was courtesy of ABJ.
You got it.
One of the things I heckle Tommy with is Tommy Vex is a Sheets guy. I yelled at him last night. I won't say everything that was said, but I yelled to him. I said, your fly's down. And he never even looked down to make sure I was messing. He just walked up and goes, I hope it is for you. And he walked away.
Oh, my God.
He's quick. He's so quick with it. He's amazing.
Oh, my God. I'm excited now.
Yeah.
And then that following week, the week after, we have Cosmic, like we said, which I'm super excited for that. And then they were they're probably still in the chat. We are going on Pro Wrestling Podcast the day after, so that'll be fun. Experiencing new faces, you know.
Is that your first time on another show?
No.
We were on the dudes at ringside.
Oh, so, dudes at ringside. Yeah.
So it'll be our second
time. Good for you guys. I'll have you on the ABJ shoot, so we'll figure it out.
Hopefully, no, just kidding.
Yeah, we'll
he's like, I really don't want these girls on my podcast.
Yeah,
bro,
we'll have the smell-o-vision on.
Oh wow.
Can you imagine just booking us and then having JC Storm on the same day? I'll be like, you know what? I'm done. It's a school night. I gotta go to bed. You know, time.
Yeah.
No, but
awesome.
Then,
so, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, finish your list.
It's just UCW, and then we have some names. Miss Sabrina booked, as in Mike Fowler.
Yes, Miami Mike.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was Mike Fowler. I was like, who's Mike Fowler?
It's on Instagram as that. So like I was like, yeah.
And then primetime.
He's a I believe he's a House of Glory. No, and I'm sorry, a Monster Factory kid. He's from Jersey, right?
You know what? I don't really know.
Booking people we don't know.
No, he was on PPW.
No, that's good. That's how you learn.
PPW,
yeah.
Well, one person we're not gonna ever have on our podcast is Gorgeous Gregory, which
yes we are. Yes, we are. I don't love that man, but that would make a great episode. That's a joke, but it'd be
I may have shot myself in the foot. I'm not sure how it plays out. Like I've double booked every Tuesday from now to the end of the month, so I have 2 episodes every Tuesday the whole month. And then I'm doing the same thing for February, and then I'm really gonna lean on reaching out, and that's my weakest point. I hate reaching out to people. I feel like I'm bothering them. So I'm gonna start reaching out to people, or if people fill out the form to actually come on the podcast. So the podcast may be done by March because I'll run out of guests, but we'll see how it goes.
You're fast with it.
Yeah, and then clipping it all. That's what I'm doing. I was doing as I seen you guys pop on last. I put a break to clipping, so you're giving me a much needed break. Are you eating cotton candy?
Yes, I got so much of it for Christmas. I'm like,
I'm over here like, no, I'm not eating more cotton candy. Yes, she is though.
It's sugar cookie.
Ooh.
That would be a complete waste of your cardio if you went and started smashing down cotton candy at 9 o'clock at night.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
Sabrina will be the one working out while I'm here eating chips and.
Well, you're both young and have high metabolism, so you can get away with it. When you get to about my age, you eat cotton candy and like your neck grows 4 sizes. You know.
That's true.
Ooh,
very soon. When are you going to have the Talk of the Ring show on the ABJ podcast? Very, very soon. I am booked past February right now. And what happens, I don't know if this happens to you guys yet, but what happens to me a lot is I'll go to a show and I'll have 100 people tell me they want to be on it. And then when I say, cool, hit me up and let's figure out some days, you never get it. You have to then reach out to them like they forget about you.
It's so annoying though, but it's life.
And then you have the ones who are like, never had me on your show. I was like, did you ever like go and fill out the form? And they're like, no. I was like, well, then screw you. Like, it's a 2-way street. Meet me halfway.
Amen. Thank you. But we have Hector. He goes, who doesn't love candy though? Cotton
candy.
Same thing. Candy, cotton candy. It's the same thing.
You just said candy. It's cotton candy.
What's the difference between, now we're going on the topic of food. What's the difference of cotton candy and candy?
Because cotton candy is soft and then it dissolves in your mouth, whereas like regular candy doesn't do that.
I think candy's a broad spectrum. I don't think you can really go buy cotton candy like a gas station.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Can you?
Yeah.
You can.
Like
it's like those little ones. It's like those like little.
When I think cotton candy, you got to buy by like an obscene bag size that you get like at the fair. That like no one ever finishes that much cotton candy. It goes bad before. Really?
Not in like a week. It'll take me like a month or 2, but yeah.
Jesus, it'll take me a month or 2.
Wow. That's a lot of cotton candy.
It's fine. I'm still fit. I'm still young.
Yeah,
I'm cultivating mass at the moment. Yeah, I'm trying to get bigger, so when I start working out, it all turns to muscle. That's the goal. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Though.
I leave the working out to Sabrina. She'll be texting me while she's at the gym. I'll be like, yeah, guess what? I'm still in bed.
Literally this morning, it was like I was texting her while I was at the gym because we were texting each other. And I was like, yeah, I'm in between sets right now. I'm not gonna lie, having a really good workout right now. And she's like, yeah, no, I'm just waking up. I was like, yeah, okay.
There it is.
Oh my god, we were trying to get Ruda on, like to pop on and say like what goals he has for PPW. He goes and says, "LOL, did you message JD?" I said, "No, it's past his bedtime."
JD doesn't have the internet. He's poor.
Yeah, that's a.
Well, guess he's not coming on our podcast next week.
He's probably celebrating the Washington win. He's a Washington fan, so he's probably celebrating the Washington win. They beat the Cowboys today.
When I was trying to book him, he's like, "I'm an old man. I gotta go to bed early." I'm like, okay, how about 6 o'clock? He goes, "That's fine." I'm like, okay, whatever. But
wow.
That's probably someone I should reach out and have on as well soon. We're gonna have a lot of the same guests. We're gonna have a lot of overlap.
Yeah,
it's all good. It's
all
good.
So what are you guys? What do you? Here's a question. I'm interviewing you guys. I'm taking over. This is the preview of the ABJ podcast right here. What were you thankful for in 2022? Like some goals you may have set early in the podcast that you have achieved, and what do you want to do going into 2023?
Sabrina, want to go first?
What's up? Oh, okay. So I think a goal that I set for myself with this podcast is just to really keep up with it and not give up. And that's what we've been doing. Like, I thought, like, for sure the first month we'd be like, all right, this is done. We're good. You don't want to do this no more.
The average is 7 to 11 episodes for a podcast.
Oh, God.
That's the average. So if you pass 11, you are ahead of 80% of most podcasts.
Did we pass 11?
I think we're way.
Okay.
Probably.
I don't know. I don't count like that, you know? But, like, I tend to, like, start things and then not finish them.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, okay, Harley, don't look at me like that. So like, if I start a project, I'm like around my house, like there's so many projects around my house that I'm like, okay, I'll start it and then I'll just won't finish it.
Yeah.
Like there's a mirror literally like right behind here that I need to hang, and I just refuse to hang it. It's just chilling on my floor.
Well, my wife has the same thing, but she's short, so she doesn't have to hang it because she can just have it propped against the wall and she can still see herself. So she's like, it works. Now it's a portable mirror. I can take it anywhere in the house, and I can put it in any room while I'm getting dressed, and I can do my makeup and check my outfit. And it's just like a tall. It's like to me, it comes up to like here, but she just carries it around and she puts it in the room, and then it's our portable mirror, so she doesn't hang it.
I mean, granted, I'm short, so I could probably do the same thing.
Right. My dad, you can take his fluff and work it out.
You know, if I could take everybody's fat and come to the gym with me, I would.
I don't think that's how it works. But anyways, I would say my 2020 goal was like originally that year I wanted to like go to more wrestling shows and like get more out there. But then like, you know, hard.
You went and got a job.
Yeah, I went. At that one point, I had 2 jobs. So. But then I was like, yeah, no, not happening. So then I got a job, and then it was the summertime, and it was so hard, and then it was hot at like PPW, and I was a procrastinator.
I'm not looking forward to the heat ever. That's the worst part for me is the independent wrestling shows. Is there's usually never heat, and there's usually never AC, and you just die at every show.
Yeah, right. But I would say my 2023 goal is definitely to like stick with that and like. Work. I'm a teenager. I gotta get out there. I gotta forget work, live it up. You know, I'm turning 16.
Enjoy your life. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Like.
Did you say you're turning 16? Yay!
I think that goes to any age. I honestly think people need to just, if your life is the 9 to 5, and you just work. Like I know it's tough. Like I know when after you work a day shift, you're just like I just want to go home and sit in the couch and watch TV, and that's fine. But I always really suggest people like find a hobby, because if you're and find a hobby that you can do fun things with, or you want that can branch out and you can get out, because living just for that 9 to 5 is such a waste of life. It really is. I know bills, like you got to work to pay the bills, and that's the thing, but find time for yourself. Like that's huge.
Yeah, that was definitely another one of like my personal goal was to have like I guess you could say like more me time. Like I don't have time to watch TV or do things I personally enjoy. Like Monday through Friday, I got school and then I work as well. And we have the podcast. And then on weekends, it's now like I work even longer shifts and then wrestling shows. So it's like I'm taking like so many weekends off for wrestling shows where I don't even care. I'm like, I put too much on my shoulders. I'm ready to live it up like a teenager.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the biggest things for me in 2020 was I'm a typical 570 scoop guy where I don't leave my 20-mile radius, 30-mile radius of my house. So like, oh, there's a wrestling show. I'm like, where is it? And they're like, it's up past Wilkes-Barre. Like, nah, that's too far. I'm dead serious. It's like it'd be a chore for me to drive like PPW, man. Like that hour 45-minute drive for me there, and then get home at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, because I'd have to drive then to Pottsville, take Brian home, and then drive home. Like I wasn't getting home from PPW till like 3 in the morning. I'd be dead. But then I got to that point where it's just like, oh, like we got you booked for Jersey. I was like, oh my goodness, Jersey, and they're like, yeah. And I did one drive to Jersey, and then like I got to experience that car ride feel where you have like you and other people that are going to be at the show that are traveling from like PA to Jersey in a car, and I fell in love with it. And I was just like, okay, like that's what wrestlers are talking about, going from city to city and traveling together, and that it opened up new doors to me. And I was like, man, I can drive to the Jersey Shore and come home the same night, and I'm cool with it. I can drive to Atlantic City and do a show and come back, because of the PPW got me into like, well, not every show also has 400 matches on it, and then by the time you do everything, you're not out there till 3 in the morning. So you can still go to a show in Jersey. The show ends at 10 o'clock, and it's a 2-hour drive home, and I'm home the same time as if I was working an hour and 45-minute show at PPW. So that was a big thing for me, was getting that travel and realizing that that's where it is, and you need to find ways to enjoy that.
Yeah, definitely.
Another thing I learned in 2022 that I'm going to carry to 23 is, we talked about it with Rosh on my podcast, is stop being around negative, toxic wrestling veterans.
Can I just say, not even, yes, I 100,000% agree with that, but not just wrestling, like toxic people in general.
Yeah. Well, in my case, toxic wrestling veterans will make you hate working in this business. Like they'll be like, yeah, I had to drive all the way here, and it's just like, if Ross doesn't make this T-shirt, I'm going to. But it's just gonna say, stay home. If you don't like to be there, if you don't like to engage with the fans, there's shows, I'm going to be honest, there's times and shows where I went to and I was like, I need to find a reason to find this enjoyable to come here today. And 9 times out of 10, it's the fans. Like, the fan experience is awesome. And I'm not even someone who, like, the fans give a shit about. You know what I mean? Like, commentary does not get the same love as a wrestler. And I get that. And it's never going to change. But, like, the 5 or 6 fans who do give a shit I'm there for is enough for me to be like, I'm going to the show so I can see them. Or there may be 2 or 3 people in that locker room that I really, really like, and the only way I see them is that show. And it's like, all right, I'm going to that show because I want to see that person, you know? But a lot of my negativity that came in 2022 was just being around those negative veterans who just find every reason to hate everything you're doing. And it's just like, no one's telling you to be here. Just stay home. Don't come. No one's going to care if you're here.
Exactly.
Stay home.
Oh, I wish Johnny Moran would stay home.
Oh my God, Harley, you and him are going to be.
I'm not sorry. Man, I really think I'm going to book that for my birthday. Johnny Moran, February 22nd.
And you just roast them.
Oh my God. I'm going to have a whole list of viewers be like, you know what, Johnny? You suck. I don't even like you. You shouldn't be.
I'm just going to sit here with popcorn.
I'm not a mean person. Everyone knows that. But if I strongly hate someone, I will let you know I hate that person. And on this podcast, everyone.
Do not get on Harley's bad side.
There are topics where I will rant. Like, ask Serena. Like, if you get me on the topic of Rembrandt and like anything with Rembrandt, I'll rant for like an hour. I'll be like, okay, so this is what happened. Rembrandt. You know, Rembrandt's my boy.
There's certain topics that really get under her and my skin as well. So like when we bring a certain topic up, especially like not really on the podcast sometimes it's just in live and I'm just like, you know how I feel about this topic, Harley?
Every wrestling show has those topics.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
We just, you know.
It's fine. But
That's where you guys are. That's where you guys fall into your trap, because like you guys still tote that line between fan and now like you're learning backstage stuff because you're interacting with wrestlers and stuff like that. And once you learn the backstage stuff, but you're still a fan, it's such a like it's tough. It's like it's kind of like reading the dirt sheets, right? So like you watch WWE and then you find out that maybe like your favorite wrestler was made fun of by another wrestler that you were a favorite, you know what I mean, or something of that nature, or this wrestler is just going in for business for themselves, and you're like, well, I hate, and it might not even be true because they're dirt sheets. It's just one person had a bad experience with one person, so they go and say like, I didn't like, let's just say I didn't like Charlotte Flair, and then one dirt sheet picks it up because it's negativity, and then they say Charlotte Flair is A, B, C, and D, and it may not just be true. Maybe that one person and Charlotte just don't like each other, but now Charlotte's labeled as this awful human, and I think like, and when that happens on the independent scene, it's like ooh, it's tough sometimes.
Definitely, yeah. I'm very excited and nervous for like all these like new things me and Sabrina are gonna experience, like because we're not just gonna be fans anymore. We're gonna be like actually part of shows, and it's like it opens new doors, like things we've never seen. But like, it kind of makes me sad because who's gonna be the one in the like audience being like, yeah, go get them?
So here's my advice for you too. I think your backstage interview stuff is gonna be fun, and I think you're gonna do great at it. But what I was told for me, even though I'm commentary, even though I'm podcaster, they said that what makes you relatable and what makes you fun is you never dropped your fandom of professional wrestling. So that would be my advice to you guys as well. I think that's what makes you stand out, because everybody wants to get on the other side of the guardrail and then be like, I'm not a fan no more. I work in the business. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I kind of like, I'm on the other side of the guardrail and I'm still having that fan experience. Like, oh my God, I was back there. And Deonna Purrazzo was there and she said hi to me before she had her match. And it's super stupid, and everyone's like, you're Mark and you're this. But at the end of the day, like I'm never gonna let that barrier down. I'm a fan. I when I go to a show and I get to hang out and talk, like have a conversation with Chelsea Green, and she talks to me as if I'm a member of the wrestling community and not like, because you'll learn, that's one thing you'll learn too, is some wrestlers will talk to you as a fan and you'll see how they talk. Like, so let's just say example, you know South Philly's Finest really well, and you know Rembrandt. So when Rembrandt has a conversation with a fan, it's not the same conversation he has with you, if that makes sense. And then the more you have interaction and become closer with wrestlers, you'll start to see the difference between a friend conversation and how they interact with a fan. You know what I mean? And that, so like when you meet somebody and they're like, you stand in line for an autograph, you're gonna have a different conversation with that person. I'm not saying they're fake, but there's a barrier. There's a character, and then there's a fan, and then there's, you know me as the character, but you also know me as the person. So it's a different engagement, you know. And you guys are gonna start learning that. Like one of the big things I do is I never want to learn a wrestler's real name. I know like a handful of them, and even in public, I don't call them their real name. Mm-hmm. Because I like that old school mentality. Like if you listen to Jim Cornette, or if you listen to stories of those old school guys, like Jim Cornette still calls Mick Foley Cactus because he met him when he was Cactus Jack, and he's like, yeah, that's my boy Cactus, and then that's your name forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would just keep your fandom. I think that's what makes you both special as content creators. Mm-hmm. So try not to lose that going into 2023.
You know, it is true though what you say about like these wrestlers, because I know Richard Holiday very well outside the ring, but inside the ring he's like a complete dick.
Yeah.
So like to fans, like when I went to go see him at MLW, he he saw me and I was like, hey man, can I get a picture? He was like, yeah, of course. And he put his arm around me, and like mind you, it was like wrestling was still going on, but he was just out there selling his merch. And so we took a picture together, and he put his arm around me. Someone else came up to him and said, can we get a picture? He's like, yeah. But he like put his water bottle up and stuck his middle finger up, like, you know.
Yeah, he's a character.
Yeah. So it was like, it's crazy to see. I like that reaction, but it's also like, it's cool to see the difference of like, okay, they treat me like this because I know them.
Yeah. The only thing that I'm trying to get better at this year is I always said for a while I'm not going to play a character as commentary. I'm just going to be me. And now I'm kind of leaning into the character thing a little bit. Like I think I'm gonna go heel. I think I'm gonna be a bad guy.
Love you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go heel.
Please
as a commentary.
do.
I don't know if I'm gonna do it at PPW because I think Joe kind of has that lockdown.
Yeah.
But I think everywhere else, I'm gonna really lean into the heel stuff. So that's why, like, when I made a joke, I said, just, like, when you like, you smell just like other typical wrestling fans. That's a little bit of my heel poking out. But yeah. So that's yeah. But like, so I have these engagements with other wrestlers where we're kind of doing that bit for the fans of we don't like each other, and sometimes I forget to drop it, or like they'll come up and say something in my face in public and I'm laughing, but I need to be like more like, ooh, you got me type deal, you know what I mean? Right. Like, yeah, so I'm working on that.
No, yeah.
It's hard. It's definitely hard. Like, I mean, granted, Rude is another one, man. He's just like, he's the nicest person, but the moment he gets in the ring, he's still a nice person when he's in the ring. To me, he is.
Sunglasses on.
Yeah.
He has like that nice, like, smart ass smile on his face, those glasses on, who he struts out, and it's like people hate his guts, and I'm over here going, you know, how can you hate a guy with a smile like that? You know, like he's walking like he's a badass.
One of the things I definitely would say, if you can do it, is try to experience it at least once or twice at the next show you guys are at, because you have that access to be backstage doing the stuff for UCW or UCF. Yes, UFC. Yeah. It's always UFC backwards. That's how I remember it. Yeah, is try to get in what they would call gorilla position right before a wrestler hits the curtain. Because that's where the transformation happens. That's where you see the person who you're friends with, who smile, and like they literally they go from, hey man, like I just had a bad day today, and you know, it was the ride here sucked, and like, for example, Rembrandt.
Oh, I love him.
I talk to Rembrandt, and we have a deep personal conversation about life and things we're going through and troubles, and almost to the point where we're ready to cry and hug each other and be like, we're here for you if you need to talk. And then he's like, oh, my match is next, and then you kind of see him pace and get in his headset, like, I don't know what his mental transformation is to do it, and then he gets the gorilla, and then he's there, and then you just see it wash over him, and then Rembrandt, he becomes Rembrandt. Like, it's such a magical moment to watch that wrestler, and then they come back behind the curtain, and they're still in that moment, and then they wait for their opponent to come and hit the curtain, and then they have that post-match talk where they say, man, that was great, da 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 da. And like, that is just a really special moment in professional wrestling that fans don't get to experience. And I would really recommend trying to be there for that as a fan and experience it for the first time, because it's really magical.
No, yeah, definitely. I'd say also, like, even like okay, so like last year and all the years prior, like even just as me and Sabrina being in the brand, I'm having a freaking brain fart.
This is fun to watch. Keep going.
Me and Sabrina being in the crowd, like cheering for someone, like you can, like, everyone, like, not everyone, but people know, like, those that are close with Rembrandt, he goes through a lot, like, and you can see that even like outside, he goes through a lot. So I think when he comes out and he hears like people cheering for him, or he sees me cheering for him, it just like it brings him like a whole like different mood. And I personally, I love seeing the mood changes in wrestlers. Like you said, they could be having the worst day, the worst week, but if they hear a fan cheering for them, or like if they just see me, then their week will be great.
Yeah, that's another thing too. It's tough. Like, I want to cheer for Rembrandt, but I can't.
Don't say that.
Well, no, but because I have a little bit of a different mindset going into that. So Rembrandt works really hard to be a heel.
Yeah.
And sometimes even as a heel, it's hard to win over a crowd, or it's hard to get the crowd to absolutely hate you. But if you're friends with them and you're smart to them, sometimes as a friend, you can help them get over as a bad guy by booing them. Yeah. Because if you're really loud, you're actually helping enhance their character as a bad guy. Like, so it's like kind of like MJF, right? MJF used to get booed by everybody, but then everybody wanted to feel like they were in on it, so they started cheering the bad guy, and that goes against what they're trying to accomplish in their character, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know, man. And I can't see myself ever booing Rembrandt again. Like, I don't know what it was. But it was a month. It was hot as freak. And I texted Cosmic. I was like, I know you guys are a heel, but I'm gonna cheer for you, and I'm bringing you guys a poster. And then ever since that day, I genuinely thought
they're good with it. So like watching them on commentary, they come out and they'll blow you a kiss and acknowledge you, and then the next fan goes high five, and I go F you, and they walk away.
especially with Rembrandt, and Caustic. I miss Caustic.
Yeah,
but when they were there, the crowd hates them. But when they see me, they're like, I love you, but I hate everyone else. I'm like, haha, they love me.
You know, I don't know if should say this, but I'm going to say it anyways. I got Ruda to get out of character one time. And that was the best day ever. Because I did not tell him I was coming that day. Aww. So I sat in my I sat in my seat, which was like a second row seat at the time. And it was like right by the coming out. And he didn't see me when he was coming out. So he came out and was like, yeah, hey guys, I'm here with my guys, my championship material, whatever. No, I think he was with Mecca, to be honest with you. And and their match was going, and he was on the side. I'm like, you suck, Ruda. And he looked at me and he went, oh, hey, what's up? And then he got back into character. You saw him snap. It was the funniest thing. He was like, oh shoot, I'm not supposed to be.
You know what you should do? Because you have the same frame and look, like everything. You should get a bald cap and put a bald cap on and draw a goatee on and put sunglasses and show up as a show. Like how Gavin dresses up, you should dress up as Ruda for a show.
Can you imagine we got the whole crowd to just put on a bald cap and Ruda just comes out and he's like,
you know what?
Happening? Me and Sabrina.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
I like a championship material shirt and just your American flag sunglasses. But listen, I know you guys are going to cover your upcoming show that you have going on. Unfortunately, it is almost 9:30. My wife should be home any second with food, and I have a show that I'm going to be going live at 10 o'clock. If you guys want to come watch it, it's called Bad Booking. We literally are going to talk about the entire week of professional wrestling. We do a fun draft where we draft I don't know what our draft is this week. I didn't look at the notes. And I still usually always win. And then we're going to say what we thought was the worst thing that happened in wrestling this week. And we cover AEW, WWE, the whole nine. Spoiler alert, it's going to be Darby Allin beating Samoa Joe. But yeah, so if you guys want to come check it out at 10 o'clock, let me know. Thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah.
You guys are killing it. I'm very proud of you. I know behind the scenes with Harley, she's been telling me about this podcast for 4 months before it actually happened. And we were asking how to do things. So I'm really proud of you guys, and you're doing awesome work. Keep grinding. And I'm excited that you guys are stepping kind of on the other side of the guardrail. You're going to be backstage. It's going to be fun. Enjoy it. Have fun with it.
Bye.
Thank
you.
So
that was great.
That was fun. Obviously, make sure you're giving him a follow. I'd say he helped us a lot.
He did.
Prepping for this. He's the one who helped me with the link for our stickers. He's the one who was like, okay, this is what I think you should do. So, but onto the topic. We're going to wrap it up shortly. It's Sabrina's bedtime. No, I'm just kidding.
It really is, honestly. I'm over here this is a long day.
But just to end it, obviously, this coming week, PPW got canceled, so no show this weekend. January 22nd, we will be, I have said it a million times in the last 2 months, but January 22nd, we will be at UCW. And let me tell you, I can't tell you much, but me and Sabrina, we are stars in UCW. We're stars. Yeah, right? You should get your tickets. Come out and support me and Sabrina. We are doing big, big things, guys.
What were you going to name me? Because it sounded like you were going to say Brittany. And I was going to be like, what is happening?
I'm telling you, it is a long day. I work today. We had 2 different podcasts. It's fine.
Why not?
But, yeah, so obviously UCW, January 22nd. Then, I don't know about Sabrina, but probably gonna be at BPW.
I will be at BPW.
When is that? That's January 28th, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Yeah, and my dad, he's gotta hype us up.
That's
crazy.
Wait, 26? Oh my god, one more and we're my birthday. On my day. I want to be old. That's old I'm gonna be.
She's turning dirty 30. Damn, girl.
No, I'm not that old.
No, I'm just kidding. She's turning 17. I'm turning 16,
For sure. I'm a youngin'. I haven't gone through puberty, don't you? But no, honestly, yeah, guys, come out to the UCW show. It'll be a great time. Like I'm really excited. I'm a little nervous because I was reading over my lines today, talking to a wall.
Just before, like, I'm reading and I'm like, I'm scared. Like, not gonna lie, like this is such a big thing for us, but we are gonna kick its behind. February, we're lies. It's not lies, but February. I was about to say the wrong day again. February. I'm pretty sure it's 18th. February 18th is AXW, which me and Sabrina we're gonna have a table, y'all. We're gonna have. I don't know. You're fine. I don't know all the merch we're gonna have. I know we're gonna have stickers, maybe T-shirts, depending on how UCW goes. If y'all like us, comment down below.
Or if you like us.
And yeah, give us a follow. Make sure you're tuning in because, like on the Instagram, we got some big names, some hated stars, some love stars.
Some of your favorites coming up.
And hey,
you never know.
I'm gonna put a poll on our podcast on our story. I'm gonna be like, who do you want to see on Harley's birthday? Should I put Johnny Moran or should I say JC Storm? Although I hate both of them, but it's fine. It's my birthday. I get to do what I want.
Guys, she actually said it. Holy shit.
But that wraps up. I don't know, Sabrina, you got anything else to say?
I just want to say, everyone, stay safe this week. Have a good time. And if you see Ruda, wear a bald cap and sunglasses.
But yeah, guys, have a fabulous week. We will be back Wednesday with Tommy Vex. Days have swapped. If you have seen, days have swapped. Joe Davis was supposed to be on Wednesday, but unfortunate events, Tommy Vex and hopefully Mary will be with him. But yeah, so we'll be back Wednesday. We're gonna be kicking 2023's behind. So make sure you're following, subscribing, and make sure you're eating cotton candy because I seen the comment again. I'm like, eat cotton candy, y'all.
I'm okay.
You only live once. Bye.
Bye.